Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy Ritz and today I'm joined here with
Friends.
So as you read by the title, this is a how we met video, but this is part 2 of this video. So if you want to watch part 1, go to the description and you'll find the link. Check out part 1 before you come to this video, otherwise none of this is going to make sense. So if you're finding this online, I'd recommend just watch part 1 first and then come to this video, otherwise none of this is going to make sense. This is just a continued thing from part 1, so none of this is going to make sense if you haven't watched part 1. So check it out, the link will be in the description. But if you guys have watched, let's do part 2 finally. So this is part 2 of how we met. This is kind of just like a follow-up, kind of, obviously we spoke about how we met, but this video is kind of like the lead up from that video up to, it's like the journey basically, the journey between how we actually met and then how we got married. So this kind of like in between, it's not really how we met, but it's kind of like the journey from meeting to marriage kind of thing. And we just want to share this story with you guys so you guys understand that like we didn't just meet and speak all these years in like a haram kind of way and not try and do anything about it, because we did try to get married and we tried to do a lot of things. So you guys will find out in this video. Just like part 1, I got a lot of points because I don't want to miss anything. So you guys watch part 1, you know what happened. Basically, after we spoke for so long, we actually ended up speaking for like 2 years after like we met basically, and Rez's mom found out about us. She found out about me, about the fact that we speak and things like that. So basically that happened.
At that time we were 17 and 18, like 1 or 2 years after we carried on speaking.
Yeah, so basically at this point in my life I was not financially ready for marriage. I was not ready for anything. At that point it was trending for like couples to get in the car done early and things like that. So we kind of thought to ourselves, you're 17, I'm 18, but we really want to get married. How about we get a nikah done, which is an Islamic marriage, making everything halal, basically allowed in our religion kind of thing. So we could meet, we could talk, we could do things like that and it would all be allowed. But we thought to ourselves, how about we get it done, but like you don't actually move in with my parents and things like that. At that point I was thinking about going to university, I think, and things like that. So I was kind of just thinking like, how about we get our nikah done but we don't actually physically move in with each other, and then down the line when I start working we get a bit more money, maybe we can consider like doing an actual wedding and like doing the big stuff and the other stuff that like our parents would want us to do. Since Rez's mom already found out and Rez's parents already found out, like we decided like maybe it's time to tell my parents. Even though I was 18, I was really scared as well to tell my parents. I've never spoke to them about anything like that. That wasn't even in the question. I had an older sister who wasn't married at that time and like I was only 18, so obviously that's not even in the question, but I want to make this right. So basically I was 18 and Rez was 17, and we decided that it's best for me to tell my parents. So one day I thought to myself, let me just tell my sister first, my older sister. And obviously I never had that kind of relationship. It wasn't like older sister, like I tell her all about girls and things like that. Like I've never, like I don't do that. I don't ever talk about that either. So it's like, it was really weird for me to just talk to my sister about this, even to just call my sister in a room and tell her to sit down and tell her something. Like that's already a big thing. Like we never used to do that. And at that point I wasn't really close to my sisters like that as I am now. I feel like marriage has brought me closer to like my family and things like that as well, even though like we live in our own house. That's really how I feel. But at that point I didn't speak to anyone, even like anyone in my own house. I used to just be stuck in my room and that's how I liked it. I didn't like showing my face. I never spoke to anyone in my family about that, but maybe my older sister, like she's only 3 years older than me. I thought let me just speak to her about it first, and maybe that's the way I can ease my way into feeling comfortable to tell my parents. So it started to get really serious at that point, and it's like it became so hard for me. Like I became so nervous, I became so scared. So I thought to myself, let me tell my sister about this. And obviously my sister's only 21, like maybe like she's thinking about in a few years for hers, and then I'm 18, I'm trying to bring this up. So I sat her down and I told her like, you know, I've been speaking to this girl for this long and like it's become serious, and like her mom already knows like I want to get married to her. Like I want to just get the nikah done and then you can move in later. You don't need to worry about like if you're gonna get married and things, because like it would just be like a small like little nikah home kind of thing, just get out of the way, just so we can be halal enough to speak to each other.
Yeah.
So my sister's like, she's really understanding, she really understood, and then she obviously didn't expect it, she was confused, but then she understood. She's just like, well, this is the right thing to do kind of thing. So then one day, this time it was like summer, and like that's Esha prayer, which is basically the last prayer of the day. It's like really late, it's like 11 p.m. in the night, and my dad likes to go to the mosque and things like that, and he liked to pray the late prayer at the mosque. So basically he went off to prayer and my mom was sitting in bed, and I told my sister like, my sister, she was nervous for me. She knew like this isn't something we've ever talked about and it's like so scary. She knew like maybe we can make them understand, but it's most likely they won't understand. But she wanted to make this right with me as well. So basically I was supposed to go to my mom and sit down and tell her. The nerves got the best of me, and then I was just like to my sister, okay, you tell her and I'm gonna come and sit down. So basically my mom was really shocked. She found out And I think she started, that time I knew they're most likely going to want to see a picture of her and things like that. So I asked Rez, can you send some pictures of just you, and like, you know, send some nice ones. So I just saved them on my phone, and then I was ready for this basically. And then so basically after my mom found out, she was really shocked, and she was just telling me like, how can you do this? You know, you have an older sister and things like that. And it was just between me, my sister and my mum. So my dad was at the mosque, and then obviously seeing my mum's reaction, I just knew, okay, there's no point telling my dad. So I kind of told her like, okay, don't speak to him about it, leave it, forget this even happened kind of thing. And I was really scared, like, but I thought, okay, she's not gonna tell him. And then he came through the door and we were upstairs, so I just like, okay, he's here now, just stop, like, let's not speak about this. And I just went to my room, and maybe I started crying in bed, and like I was really sad. I really wanted this to happen, but like it wasn't the outcome that I was expecting. I thought maybe culture wouldn't get in the way of like the religious aspect of things, but like, you know, in like Asian culture, it always gets in the way. It's always like, well, you got an older sister, wait first. Aren't you ashamed of yourself? You got an older sibling and things like that. So obviously I'm really upset. I think I was telling Rez about, obviously Rez is waiting, she's waiting to see what happens. So I was just updating Rez like, this is what happened. I was really sad, I was really upset. I thought, I trusted my mom, like maybe she's not gonna tell anyone. But then my parents basically like found out. They basically just spoke about it, and then they came to my room and they was just saying like, don't do it, cut her off, you guys are too young, delete her pictures. Because obviously I'm showing pictures that I've saved that I told Rez to set so I can show it to them. After seeing the reaction, I just felt like maybe this age isn't the time, and maybe like they're never gonna understand. So I thought to myself like, okay, let's just let my sister get married, and then we could talk about that in the future. So I knew that this isn't going to work, and I agreed to everything they said. Okay, I'll cut her off, okay, I'll delete the pictures. Every time they asked, like after a few weeks, we never really spoke about that stuff, so it was really awkward for them to bring it up for them. But then they sort of said, oh, did you delete the pictures, did you cut her off? And I was just like, yes, I'd done it. And obviously I didn't do it. We carried on speaking, because like, you know,
just cut someone off that you want to marry, and
it's impossible.
It was at that point it was impossible.
Yeah, it's basically impossible for us at that point. So also they didn't like the idea of me just finishing college. At that point I literally just finished college, and I didn't have a job, I didn't have a degree, I didn't have anything. I don't know how I would be able to afford anything. So obviously as a Muslim,
but we didn't want to do anything. We like, literally just wanted to do a nikah and keep it halal. That was the only intention we had. We didn't care about moving in with each other, we didn't care about wedding presents, we didn't care about the actual wedding, we didn't care about gatherings. Like, we just wanted to do it simple and quick, like in the mosque, because of our age, because we literally just wanted to make it halal. That was the biggest priority for us.
So at that point I was really sad with the outcome of this, but me and Rez, we continued to speak for another 2 years. So basically from 18 I was now 20 and Rez was 19, and we continued to speak for another 2 years. And then Rez would always ask me, like, let's say it was January, Rez would always ask me like, when are you going to tell your parents? You know, I was like 19 at that time, almost 20. And then Rez would always tell me like, oh, I want to make this right. I wanted to make this right as well. I just felt like maybe it's still not going to work. And like, obviously the last time really traumatized me, and I felt really sad. Like, I felt traumatized, like maybe they're never gonna say yes or something like that. I just felt really traumatized, really scared after the last time, because obviously I was 18 and their reaction really scared me. But then I would always tell Rez, like in the summertime I would tell them, and obviously in the back of my mind I'm just thinking like, I'm so scared to do this. And in my head I like to think like I'm gonna do it, but then kind of I was just like, it's okay, we'll just push it back as far as you can. I was kind of really scared, so the fear overtook everything. So in my back of my mind I was just like, yes, we're gonna do this one day. But to Rez, it was kind of just like, okay, we'll tell them this summer kind of thing. After this point, a few months went by, and then Rez's whole family ended up finding out about me. All of Rez's aunts, all of Rez's uncles, everybody found out about me, and they started getting ready for this like marriage before my parents even found out. Basically all of them started getting ready, and Rez would always tell them like, it's okay, in the summer he's gonna tell his parents and we're gonna get in the car done. I didn't even think of the first step. I was always out, the fear overtook the thought of doing this again and going to them again. And her whole family is like, bear in mind, they're all ready for this first step to happen, the first dawah, the first invite to happen. And I'm just there scared. At that point I was working, I had a full-time job, I was earning enough money to like support us both. Rez always used to reassure me like, you know, you're grown now, you have a job, yeah, you're making enough money. Like, I'm sure they would say yes, like, you are doing a lot better than you were 2 years ago. When I didn't have a job, I wasn't going to uni, I wasn't doing, yeah, I had a car as well. So at that point I thought to myself, I need to get a car as well. So that same year I passed my driving the year before, and then I ended up getting a car. In my head I was thinking, we're gonna need a car. Okay, so the day finally came. Me and Rez finally decided, like, from this day, you need to tell your mum or your parents, however the hell you want to say it, you say it, because my whole family is waiting, kind of thing. And that really
that puts so much pressure on me.
Yeah, I was about to say that put so much pressure on me. I was just like, her whole family is sitting there ready, and my parents don't even know. Our parents, they generally wake up quite early. So one day my mom really woke up early. She was downstairs watching TV, and I don't really go and sit and watch TV. So I sat with her, and she's watching her little Bengali kind of like things, and then she's obviously really confused, like, why the hell are you sitting here? You never really sit here, kind of thing. And I didn't know how to say it. Just, I was so traumatized, I was so scared. Like, every minute I'm about to say something, it's like, my voice isn't coming out. It's like, I just felt like, okay, just wait a minute, kind of thing. And then I felt like everyone around the house was kind of waking up. So I was just like, okay, I need to say it. They're gonna wake up, and I'm gonna have to tell them all together. It's gonna be really hard. So basically, I told my mom in a really like different way. I didn't say, there's this girl I want to marry. I was just like, I couldn't say it anymore. So I was just like, Mom, like, you know what I told you 2 years ago? Like, I want to tell you that I still want to do it. So that's how I said it. I couldn't say, you know, the girl that's waiting for me, she's waiting for me. I still want to get married. I couldn't say it after the last time. Like, it traumatized me. So I was just like, you know what we spoke about 2 years, and like, you know, I'm still waiting. And obviously there's only one thing that happened in the last 2 years that was that big. So she kind of like just clocked onto what I was talking about, and she figured it out for herself, like, yeah, that's what he's speaking about, kind of thing. If you're wondering why I'm not reading off what I was reading off before, it's because this stuff is more recent than the ones that were 5 years ago, so it's kind of like in my head, kind of thing. Basically, I told my mom, and then after that, she started taking into consideration, like, I have a full-time job, I'm working, and like, she started figuring out things, maybe they can make this work, maybe they can have an actual wedding and things like that. In our head, it's like, we need to get ready for a wedding as well, but we wanted a really small kind of thing, and they were having plans of like doing it big kind of thing.
We didn't think they'd say, oh, you need a wedding. We just thought, okay, we'll do a small nikah, a little gathering with like 50 people or something, have our families there, eat food and stuff. That's it.
I wanted like a little marquee outside in the summertime, and then like just have only family, none of those extra people, and just have like really nice food, really nice things, but like only for our family, and just have so much fun. Okay, so anyway, she ended up telling my dad. So basically my dad woke up, he went downstairs, and then they ended up like speaking by themselves, and then I think she made him understand, like, he's older now, he's more mature now, he's actually like earning money, he'll be able to look after her, maybe they can find a way to make this work, kind of thing. So basically they figured that out, and then they talked to my older sister, then they talked to my siblings, and I'm in my room, I'm just talking to Rez, like, oh, they're talking, I'm so scared. Basically I just thought, well, I didn't eat breakfast yet, let me go downstairs. So while they're all in the sitting room kind of thing, speaking secretly, not secretly, but like, they're speaking basically. So I'm in the kitchen, I'm trying to listen at the same time, I'm trying to eat some breakfast. Actually, I wasn't really bothered about the breakfast. I went down to listen, and the breakfast was kind of like, they come and see I'm there, I'll just pretend I'm eating breakfast. So basically, when my sisters, they came and they're like, oh yeah, we heard you're getting married, and I was just like, oh my god, I'm getting married now. It was just like, it kind of hit, it was like, okay, so they're agreeing to this kind of thing, and I felt really happy. It's like, oh my god, okay, so this is gonna happen then. And everyone seemed really happy, and like, we started making plans, and obviously they've never met Rez, they've never heard of Rez, so they were kind of just like, oh, how is she, how tall is she, what does she do, where are they from, and like, it was just such an exciting time. I felt such happiness, and it felt so weird just being able to speak about you, because it's like my whole life, like, well, not my whole life, but the last few years are kind of like, we're just between each other. It's just like, no one knew, but it's like we only knew. So it's just like, I couldn't speak about home, obviously. So it's just like, it felt really weird, it felt really new, but it's like, it felt so exciting, because it's like, I don't have to hide anything anymore. Like, this is finally gonna happen, and I felt so happy. Okay, so this was before all of COVID and all of these things even came into place. Our parents started speaking. So basically my mom and her mom started speaking, and we actually planned a date for us to come over. Your family has to come over first.
No, you guys came over first.
Oh yeah, okay. So in Asian culture, the guy's family goes over to girl's family, and they ask for the daughter's hand. So basically we planned a date, and our family went over, and it was really weird just being in Rez's house, and it's just like,
oh my
god,
what
the hell?
On that day, I was all dressed up ready upstairs, and then
we matched.
We matched so nice.
I'm gonna put a picture. So I really hate this picture. I hate how I done my hair. I hate how I looked that day.
No, don't put that.
No? Let's just, okay, we're gonna throw a picture up here. So that's us, we matched that day.
They came over, I was looking out the window, seeing them like walk into the house and stuff, and I was like so nervous, my heart was coming out. That was the first ever time that I ever met them as well. Yeah. So it was like a big thing, and I had a little meltdown when I was called downstairs. I don't know why.
Started crying.
I started, yeah. Mum was like, "Why are you crying for?" Blah blah. And then my aunts were also there.
Rez's family ended up coming to my house. Rez didn't come at that time, but basically we planned a day for the nikah to finally happen, and then we agreed on this date, and then the nikah finally happened. We got married. We started doing all our shopping for the wedding. We planned a wedding 4 months later, which Rez didn't really want. I didn't really care, because at that point Rez was more picky. She was like, I want it in the summer.
I really wanted a summer wedding, but that didn't happen. So
yeah,
because they were very concerned about the gap from the nikah time to the wedding time.
Yeah.
So they didn't really want a very big gap, and I had to basically like just compromise like a month or two earlier than the day I actually wanted.
For me, I didn't mind any day as long as I have some gap to make some money and prepare for this wedding. I didn't really care. 4 months, I thought, okay, I can try and figure this out somehow. I was literally working non-stop, earning my money, going buying wedding things, do it again, and literally it's just like a process like that. I didn't mind any day, because to me it was more of the fact that this is actually happening. Like, I was just so over the moon that like, okay, at least this is happening. Like, I don't care if it's in summer, if it's in winter, this is happening. Like, I didn't want to rush things, but it's more of like, okay, like I'm just happy that they've accepted this and this is actually gonna go forward, and I was so happy.
Finally, we were literally waiting for 5 years for this to arrive. Yeah. So, you know, you could imagine the joy and like the relief.
Especially after what happened last time, where I got traumatized. Yeah. I was really scared. So
honestly, there's so much more depth to what happened, but you can't really go into depth because it's personal and it's like to do with family. So like, there was so much more being said and done, but like we can't go into detail with that. That's why he keeps saying he was so traumatized, because a lot actually happened. Like,
so basically, I was just over the moon that this is actually happening. I don't care if it's in 4 months or in 10 months. Like, this is happening, and like it was just so exciting. And yeah, that's just the end of the story. We ended up planning our wedding, our honeymoon, and that's just how it ended. Yeah, I mean, the whole wedding process was so smooth. So I hope you guys understand, like, when we say we've known each other for nearly 6 years, I hope like that helps you guys understand that like we didn't just speak outside of marriage all these years and not try and make things work. We actually went through things during these years. We actually tried to make this work, and we faced obstacles, we went through things, but we came through it together, and we ended up getting married, which is the end goal. And I hope you guys understand that like we didn't just like think, okay, let's just speak and we get married whenever kind of thing. I hope you guys understand, like,
marriage was always priority for us. Like, literally, can you imagine being 17, 18 years old, not having a job yet or anything, but still agreeing to have a nikah done, even though you know you don't have anything, because you want to make it right, like that much. You need to have courage to do that. For us, it was always marriage. Like, even though I was still in sixth form and you just finished sixth form, and like, you know, we didn't really have like jobs or anything like that. So
never had a job in my life at that point, and never a full-time job. At that point I had like a part-time job which I stayed in for about like a few weekends, and then some things went wrong, and that was my Subway job, but I didn't really enjoy it, so I ended up leaving because of a lot of things behind the scenes. So at that point I never really basically worked in my life. I wouldn't really consider my Subway job even a job, because of like,
that's definitely
okay, it was a job, but
you didn't stay
I didn't
for
do
that
much.
Long.
I didn't actually, like, there was just so much went wrong, so I don't really class that as one of the jobs I ever had, like a proper job. So at that point I consider like I never had a proper job in my life. So for me to want to get married and put all that responsibility on me, and the biggest step was just mainly telling my parents. That's what took the most courage out of me. For me, the courage wasn't having you as my responsibility and getting married. The courage was, how do I tell them and how do I make this happen, kind of thing. So that took the most out of me, and that was the most nerve-wracking thing in my life. So I hope you guys understand like all the things we went through and all the struggles we went through to get here, to make Grits and Rez a thing. So that's finally the how we met video. I know this wasn't really how we met, it was more of like the journey between how we met and the marriage, but I hope you guys enjoy. I really wanted to do this part 2 of like the in-depth kind of journey kind of thing, because I want you guys to understand of the things that we went through to get here, and it wasn't just like, oh well, you guys are in a haram relationship and now you're trying to normalize it and make people feel like it's okay to do these things, but we're not encouraging anyone to do this. We don't encourage that you go through the route that we went through. To us it was just inevitable to like basically not speak,
because of the age that we met. We couldn't really we can't really change that, but we tried our best to like not speak, we tried to cut each other off, we tried so much, like so many things, and nothing really worked. It literally threw us into depression.
So that's basically like all we went through all those years to get to this stage. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you're new here. We're just really surprised that we finally done this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed, like, just listen to this. And I know there's a lot of couples that are really young and they want to get married too, and like they're going through a lot of things. A lot of people pop up to me that they're going through this and they want to tell their parents, and like I hope this story encourages you. Like sometimes you might face some obstacles when you're trying to get married, but you can make this work in the end. Don't give up. Don't feel like you guys aren't gonna get married. You can make it happen, because we made it happen after all these years, and it wasn't just a 1 year process of like struggle. It was like actually like years and years and years. So I hope this encourages anyone that's trying to do the right thing to do it, and you guys can make it happen. Obviously we're not encouraging you guys to be doing anything outside of marriage, to talk outside of marriage and things like that. We're not here to encourage that. We're just here to tell you our story. So I hope you enjoyed the story. Is there anything you want to say before we cut this video? Okay, so don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time, and peace.
Girl, I see your face everywhere. When I'm going out, you'll be there. 'Cause everything reminds me of you. I can't take no more. Girl, I think I'm losing my mind. Try to go to work, but I lost track of time. 'Cause everyone keep looking like you.